Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I do my everyday makeup. Even when I can't see and know, even in the lows, I never walk so low. But it's the afternoon, so I already cleansed my face with two cleansers. I used a cream cleanser and a gel cleanser from Clean and Clear. Then I went ahead and I moisturized with the Bliss Drench and Quench moisturizer for the face. I typically don't go in with a hydrating moisturizer, but since we're in quarantine, I have been really dry, so I wanted to hydrate my face. After I cleanse and I moisturize my face, I just go ahead and fill in the brows. I use two products from Benefit Cosmetics because I think they're so good. So I use the Brow pomade and I use the Foolproof brow powder. I'm gonna move you guys in a little bit more just so you can get a better look at my brows. I'm just gonna grab the brow pomade and I'm gonna start at the tail of my brow, and with whatever is left over on the brush, I'm just gonna move inward. A technique that I found that helps me fill in my eyebrows is I frown. I'm pretty sure you guys saw me do it, but I frown like this and I just follow the natural curve of the brow. And with my finger, I go ahead and I clean around the area a little bit, and that's the first brow. I'm gonna go ahead and do the second brow, and then I'll show you the next step. Now that the second brow is done, I'm gonna go ahead and set my brows with the Foolproof brow powder from Benefit Cosmetics. I grab any brow brush and I just dip it into the powder and set my brows following the same structure that I used for the pomade. I'm gonna be using the Bare Minerals brow brush. So that's the first step. It's pretty simple, as you can tell. I mean, you can tell that I'm wearing makeup, but I don't like filling in like Sharpies. I still keep the gradient of the natural brow. Next, we're gonna go in with our base. So for everyday makeup, I try to keep it light. That being said, the best everyday foundation that I've found works best for me is the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. I love this CC cream because it makes your skin look like your skin, but it also gives you like that smooth, perfect look. I do fluctuate between two shades. Now, considering I've been inside, I'm a little lighter. I'm gonna go ahead and use the shade Neutral Tan. I'm just gonna spot this. Oh my god, it's like a perfect match. Wow. I don't use too much. I'm not pushing down all the way. I don't even use a full pump. I just push a little bit and I kind of judge it as I go. I am, for my base, gonna use the Real Techniques sponge. I love this sponge. Make sure to always bring it down to the neck so it blends. It is still honestly a little light. Maybe I should go in with the shade Tan. I have been getting sun running in the mornings, so I'm just gonna add the shade Tan a little bit on my cheeks. It's a little darker, gives it more color. I think that's definitely a lot better. It added a little bit of color. Next, I'm gonna conceal. Like I said, I don't want my makeup to look super cakey, so I'm just gonna go in a little bit with the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer. This is my favorite drugstore concealer. They're just unmatched. It does dry quick, so I'm gonna go spot by spot and just blend out as I go. With whatever concealer is left over on the sponge, I'm just gonna go over my eyelids. Everyone has veins on their eyelids, but you can't really tell on my skin since I'm naturally a little dark. So I don't find it necessary to go in with a bunch of concealer on my eyelids. I do still want my eyelids to look even and blended in with the rest of my face. So with whatever is left over, I just blend that out. I'm only gonna go in a little bit with some powder under the eyes. I'm gonna be using the original Airspun setting powder, and I'm literally gonna take like the smallest amount just to set my eyes. And for the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with the Almay Loose Setting Powder. This is also drugstore. You can find it at CVS, at Walgreens. I like it because it's not super cakey or full coverage. It's very, very light. I'm just gonna use the flat side of the e.l.f. blending sponge. This is actually too much, so I'm just gonna rub some off on the palm of my hand and just blend that out. Now that the face is set, I'm just gonna go ahead and bronze real quick. Typically for everyday makeup, I switch up my bronzers, but one that has remained loyal is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love this one because it warms up your face without looking extreme, and it smells so good. As you can see, like, there's already a natural shadow, so I'm just gonna go ahead and follow the structure of my face. Why am I holding the brush like that? And then I just go ahead and warm up, honestly, like almost my whole face. I just go over with whatever's left on the brush, everything that I warmed up previously. Once I contour all my face, I go ahead and contour my nose. It's honestly not that crazy. It's a very simple process. I just grab it's not really a flat brush, but it's an eyeshadow brush that is a little flatter than normal. Let me bring you guys in so you can see a little better. I start at the bottom. Doing this gives the illusion that there's a shadow under here, so it kind of like lifts up your nose. Then with a little bit, I just go on the side. I just focus the product right here towards the bottom to make it look like the bridge of my nose is continuing. And then I just bring it up a little bit to where my nose normally starts with the bridge. And most importantly, I blend that out to under my brow because there is already a natural shadow there. So with the extra bronzer, I just blend it out so it all looks natural. And there you go, that's my nose contour. Once nose contour is done, I just go in with more bronzer and I just hit my eyelids. And this does not need to be perfect at all. What this does, it just intensifies the natural shape of your lid. That's pretty much all I do for my eyes, just some bronzer. Next, we're gonna use blush. I'm gonna go ahead and use the Milani blush in the shade Coral Cove. Oh, especially for the spring and the summer, it's so cute. This color is so peachy and bright. I love it. I just grab a thick and fluffy blush brush because I do like my blush to kind of go everywhere and look really rosy and natural. I just blend between the contour and the bottom of my eyes, and I don't think too much about it, honestly. I just hit the blush everywhere. So as you can see, I started applying right here closer to the sides of my face just to blend out the contour. But once I've done that, I go ahead and grab more, and then I focus on the apples of my cheeks. I smile and I just pat it on and blend it out. This is a new technique that I actually learned recently, like a couple weeks ago. You grab a little bit of extra blush and then you put it on your nose. It just brings in your cheeks and the nose and makes your skin look like all naturally sun-kissed. And also the forehead. I know it's crazy, you essentially put blush all over your face, but it definitely brings the whole look together. Before I go in with highlight, I add one more layer of powder. This part is just to tighten the whole look together. I use the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder, and I use the shade True Warm. I don't go in a lot, I just tap in with my beauty sponge, and what I do is I only put it where my contour and my blush is, and it kind of just blends it all together and makes the look really come together. And that's it. This side of my face definitely looks a lot more blended, and then this side, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but you can tell that there are some patchy areas. Once I'm done with that, I go in with my highlight because right now I really look one-dimensional. My face doesn't have enough life in it. To highlight, since I do like my skin to look kind of dewy everywhere on my cheeks, I use a foundation brush, believe it or not. This one is more fluffed out because I've used it so much for highlight. What I use for highlight changes daily. If I want a brighter highlight or a warm highlight or a lighter highlight or a blushy highlight, just depends what I'm feeling that day. For today, we're just gonna use a very natural, minimal highlight. I'm gonna use the Milani Strobe Light, and I'm using the shade Day Glow, which is the second shade. Just swooshing the brush there. I tap off the excess because I don't want to look like a lunatic. And then I just hit the high points of my face. You see, it's a very natural highlight. It's not super blinding. I hit a little bit on the apples of my cheeks, and I just bring that highlight everywhere. Top of my brows, my chin a little bit, Cupid's bow. I don't really go overboard with highlight. I mean, for my everyday highlight, I don't go overboard. And to highlight the more detailed parts of my face, I just go in with a flat brush like this. And I just hit the nose a little bit, and then I put it on the bridge of my nose as well. And the inner corner of my eye. And of course, the brow bone. And that's it for highlight. As you can see, my face is now a little more dewy and glowy than it was before. For my lips, I typically use a lip liner, but I have no idea where I put my favorite lip liner. So I'm gonna go in with a lip stain instead. I use the CoverGirl Outlast lip stain. I don't know what shade this is in. 420. As you can see, the color for the lip stain is a very natural color. It doesn't look insane and it's not too dark or too light. I love it with my skin tone. I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Lip Plumping Gloss, and this is in the shade Champagne Glam. Honestly, if it were up to me, eyelash extensions all the way, but everyone knows that that's pricey and no estoy pa eso. So instead, I curl my lashes and I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara. I wish I didn't have to use waterproof mascara, but my lashes are naturally so straight, like my hair. There's no volume, there's no life, nothing. So I have to curl them, and I found that using waterproof mascara as opposed to regular mascara keeps them nice and curled for like up to 2 days, honestly. I mean, you're supposed to take off your makeup every day, but if your waterproof mascara stays on, whatever, who's gonna judge you? No one, as long as you don't leave it on for a week. It's a struggle, but it's what we gotta do to look good. So I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes real quick. I open and close kind of often and readjust, just so it doesn't look like just one straight line. I readjust so it looks more natural. I honestly do this for close to a minute. Sorry if the angle changed. Per usual, my SD card ran out of memory, so I had to delete some stuff. But I just wanted to show you guys real quick. Look at this difference. I always zoom out. I have to show you guys. Bro, look at the difference that mascara makes. As I'm putting mascara on this eye, I have some tips that I want to show you guys. Don't mind the mascara on the lids. I'm going to show you guys how to get rid of that. To get that cat eye look, what you do is you put the wand at the end of your eyelash, and as you move out, you bring it in. Because if your lashes are long but they're facing out, they don't look as long as if they're long and they're facing up. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I've found that works for me. So when I apply mascara, I try to bring all my eyelashes to the center of my face. And then once I feel like I've got a desired length, instead of placing the wand at the root, I go in with a little bit more of mascara and I lightly coat the tips of my eyelashes. And that's it. That's how I do my eyelashes. We're almost done, but real quick, I'm just gonna show you how I get rid of messy application of mascara, because honestly, okay, so once it's dry, you can just grab one little square of toilet paper or paper towel, and what I do is I fold it in half, and then I go ahead and I fold it in half again and again in half, and then one more time in half until you get a little square like this. And reason being is because now the edges are pretty sharp and stable. The reason I don't like using Q-tips is because, one, I guess that technique works when you're using regular mascara and you dampen the Q-tip, but considering it's waterproof mascara that I'm using, water is obviously not gonna take it off. And Q-tips have a lot of the cotton that can get stuck to your eyelashes, and I don't think that's cute. So ideally, honestly, napkins work best, because napkins even have less of that lint than toilet paper does, but for this sake, doesn't matter, toilet paper will work. I'm gonna bring you guys in again. As you can see, I have a little bit left on my eyelid. So with the little square that I showed you how to make, you're gonna get the sharp edge. See wherever you have mascara and you rub it off, but it's really like scratching it off. And then when you get to your root, you wanna hold this as flat to your face as you can, because if you put it like this way, you're just gonna get caught in everywhere in your eyelash. Hold it as flat as you can and as close to the root. And this is why you want your mascara to dry, because if your mascara is still wet, your eyelashes will get stuck together, and that's not cute. Given that technique, now you can see that there is no mascara left on my eyelids. And most importantly, the makeup that you had on your eyes remains. You can see that there are no patches on my lid. Granted, I didn't do a lot of eyeshadow, but the contour has remained and everything looks intact. All right, guys, so that's it. This is my final makeup look. I know we're in quarantine, so uploading this video, a lot of you might be like, what's the point? I'm not gonna use this anytime soon, but I hope that once quarantine is finished, you guys may be able to take some tips from this video and start applying your everyday makeup in an easier way, a more efficient way that works for you, while also looking cute and natural. Like this video if you enjoyed watching it, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content like this, and I will see you guys in my next video.